last night, Ellie Shea, local Massachusetts athlete representing the Emerging Elites TC. Declan, how excited are you for this?
Well, the production of this event is just awesome. Seeing all these girls getting the opportunity to come out, sparks flying, their name announced, jump around going, and a packed house to the rafters. The track is surrounded by coaches and fans, so just so much fun as they're able to come out here and get to just have a good time and go and chase some fast times on the track.
That's what it's all about. These ladies have been waiting for a while as well. I wonder if that had any impact on how they've warmed up, if they were told they could move things. They seem ready to go, be introduced. This is Tiffany Sachs from Newbury Park. We've seen that jersey before, over and over. Dynasty of a school from California.
Yeah, the Newbury Park kit, that highlighter yellow that we see. And we'll take a look at your full start list for this one. Jolena Quarzo, Mary Bonner Dalton, Tiffany Sachs, Maddie Gardner, Muriel Loption, Kaylee Higgins, Lily Jin, Catherine Marchand, Kaylin Sloan, and Ellie Shea. And they all get their personal introductions here. The professional feel of New Balance Nationals here at the track at New Balance.
I'm just jealous. I wish I had that for all my races.
I wish I had this walking into the office on Monday morning.
Yeah, walking into my house. I'm at the office.
There's a lot to celebrate when you're walking in at home.
There's a lot to celebrate.
We have Ellie Shea.
And there is your 2-mile champ, Ellie Shea. Hometown favorite. They'll bring the lights back up.
Ellie Shea is the defending champion of the New Balance Indoor Nationals last year. She won last year in 15:49:47. Very fast time.
She's run 4:42 for the mile this year as well, so got a lot of speed on that end of it. But a strength runner takes a lot of strength to come back and run the 5K as your second big event of the weekend. We're off. Championship girls, 5,000 meters.
The real question is, does Ellie Shea do what she did last night in the girls' championship 2-mile, where she led end to end, pulling away from the entire field, or does she play this a little bit more tactically?
Well, if the first 100 meters is any indication, I think Shea is going for it. I think she's going for it. We'll see at the break how she settles in, but it looks like she's just going to take that tangent straight to the front. 24 laps to go, and Ellie Shea is going to go and put it out there. No surprise. The champion in the 2-mile last night.
And those pace lights are set for 15:35.
Absolutely blistering pace. So, Ellie Shea going out, getting after it. This is the third section, but our fifth 5K overall. So we've seen a lot of different tactics so far, Dana. We've seen some that have gone out behind the wave lights, but primarily on the boys' side. On the girls' side, we've seen them just straight out in front of the wave lights and going for it. How does that play into a championship type environment, though?
You know, I have mixed feelings about these wave lights. I think they're great for pulling an athlete like an Ellie Shea out to breaking barriers, but sometimes they can be quite a distraction as well, and they might be a little ambitious when you get pulled towards them. You know, especially if those lights are set at 15:35, that's a major jump for this second pack here, who is more in this, you know, PBs from 17:20 to 16:40, so they need to be cautious and a little apprehensive of that and just run their own race.
Sometimes hard to do when you see someone going out and looking so good doing it that you want to try and jump on that train, gather a little bit of energy, but it already seems like we've got two races, Ellie versus the clock, and then the rest of the field has kind of slotted in, and they're going to see where they're going to fit and then how they're going to start clicking off that pace.
And an athlete like Ellie Shea, one thing we mentioned last night is she does have this international global experience. She was just down in Australia at the World Cross Country U20 Championship where she placed 10th, leading the U20 team to a bronze medal. So really leading, breaking barriers all the way. So it's this confidence that allows you to tackle ambitious goals like
and
this.
Having that type of experience, I mean, even just the travel, the experience of getting on a 24-hour flight, flying to Australia, and then coming home and having your state meet. You've got your sectionals, your states, the national meet coming up at New Balance Nationals. So all of those things in mind, but doesn't phase a high schooler, and that says a lot about how much experience she has already as a junior.
I was just about to say that, Declan. She's just a junior, doesn't feel right to say, but only a junior. Absolutely incredible. We still get a whole nother year of this.
And 3:07 through the first K for Ellie Shea. So she's just running along with the wave lights, and I think this is the type of race where those actually help quite a bit. She's out on her own, helps her kind of turn things down a little bit, probably relax into that pace if she feels comfortable there, and able to just start going for it a little bit without having to keep checking the watch.
And Maddie Gardner is leading that chase pack just off screen. Gardner
ran 4:59 in the mile last year, so dipped under 5. But has run right around 17 flat and seated at 17:05. So trying to make reasonable expectations and setting that pace for yourself. When you saw the other heat, saw a few that dipped under 17 minutes because they went for it, or just right at that 17-minute barrier, because they went for it, they were able to go and get it. And this is now, you've got a pack of 6, 7 that are going for it, working together, and Gardner just leading that charge right now.
And Maddie Gardner, I'm renaming her Maddie the Metronome 20s, which means she is just doing 20 seconds every 180-second laps. She just clicked off a bunch of them and now just gets past to share some of the work.
Mary Bonner Dalton, 704 Elite. She's going to move into the front, and that allows Gardner to just slide up on her outside. She kind of made sure she gained a little bit of room there, wasn't going to let her stride get chopped too much.
The track at New Balance, however, is getting loud for the girl up front, Ellie Shea. Everyone is taking note of what she's doing out here. She is going for history.
Dana, I've seen you run with sunglasses, but you ever run with sunglasses indoors?
I've never run with sunglasses indoors at all. This is exactly the same pair she wore last night, so maybe they're a lucky charm. These lights in here are bright, but it might be something to just lock her in and stay focused on the task at hand.
Provides a little bit of consistency when you're just able to do the same thing every time. Ellie Shea out front. 1,800 meters. We'll get a 2K split on the next one. Speaking of metronome, Ellie Shea has been flipping them off.
Clicking off very consistent splits.
Bonner Dalton still leading that chase pack. Now it's 5 in the pack.
And Ellie Shea is passing her first athlete, holding on to these pace lights.
And as it seemed like they might be starting to get away from her, she did have that passing a lapped athlete. You start to get that little bit of energy. You got a cheer from the crowd when she did it too. So kind of helps keep her engaged. She went through 6:15 through 2K. So ran 3:07 the first K, 3:07 the next.
Ellie Shea is also a local athlete, Declan. What advantages does that have to have shorter travel? You know, have some fans at home. She's probably run multiple times at the track of New Balance. Does that play an extra special factor in what she's trying to do here?
Well, I'd say being able to sleep in your own bed, all that stuff is nice. But someone who's also been able to travel to Australia and compete at the world stage, I'm sure she can handle a little bit of everything right now. So she just gets the benefit of not having to fly, not having to change up what her school workload was like or missing class or anything like that. She's able to come out here, go back home, sleep in her own bed, and that's always helpful when you're working at a national meet and things like that. Having it in your backyard, having more fans, more family, friends that are here to come and support you too.
Yeah, and I'm just continually impressed by this turnaround from Ellie Shea, winning the championship 2 mile in an extremely similar style, running end to end, coming back less than 24 hours later to do it again.
Yeah, that's really hard to do, and to do it in the way that she's doing it. She didn't decide that she was going to go sit back. She said, I'm going to go grind this one out. I'm going to chase something special. I want to run a PB. I want to go and chase something fast. So she goes out after it, 3:07 through each of the first 2 kilometers.
And we're going to get our 3K split soon. We'll have a nice indication of what pace she's on.
She hit 7:50 at the halfway mark. There is the 3K split of 8:09. 8:09 through 3K, or 2,600, so one more to go.
I was going to say, Declan, that'd be a pretty fast 3K.
8:09, but still 18, 19 seconds per lap.
And Ellie Shea has this, the way that her stride floats over the track here is something where she's on a mission, this rhythm running. Just an incredibly strong way to tackle a 5K. You get a momentum. You get a momentum moving throughout this distance if you're able to stay on a very similar pace.
And that momentum, you see a really powerful stride, and as she starts to pass athletes, gains a little bit more momentum there. And yes, she's fallen off the wave lights, but don't forget, we saw that in the boys 5K too. Tyrone Gores fell off the wave lights, as did that whole lead pack, but he was able to charge back with a strong last kilometer, and it's a lot different at this stage as they come up on that 3K split, Dana.
Yeah, coming through 3K in that 9:27.18. She has run a 9:02 this season in the 3K, so this is fully in her wheelhouse. Just to pay attention during this 4K and make sure she can stay on the pace so that last K, she can give everything she's got.
Shirley starting to feel a little bit of yesterday in her legs, but still out there clipping off 19 seconds or 38 seconds every 200.
And Ellie is about to make a move on this second pace pack, which is absolutely incredible. These are such talented athletes.
So, making a move, Mary Bonner Dalton in second right now, but now in the sights of Ellie Shea. So Bonner Dalton, Corzo, and Gardner is that pack of second through fourth. And Shea starting to go around. They see up on the Jumbotron that's happening too. It helps them re-engage into the pace a little bit.
And Ellie Shea's got a little bit of traffic on this turn. It's a tough spot to pass people, so she's putting in a little surge here to make sure she gets around. 1 mile to go.
Ellie Shea now a full lap clear of second place. And it's just Ellie versus the clock right now, trying to see what she can do. But still a very strong, bouncy stride down the back stretch. Still just clipping off 38-second laps.
And Ellie Shea may be the type of athlete where the more length of distance, the more comfortable she is. Cross country is a spot where she's seen a level of dominance. And I'm excited to see her, eventually in college taking on that 10K.
Ellie Shea, 7 laps left in this one. And her eyes are up on everyone in front of her that she's passing now.
All eyes are on Ellie Shea at the track at New Balance, at the New Balance Indoor Nationals.
And just an update on the rest of that chase pack. Mary Bonner Dalton, Jolina Corzo, Maddie Gardner still second through fourth. There, that pack in second. Lovshin and Sachs are sitting there in fifth and sixth. But Ellie Shea out in front, 220 meters clear of second place right now. Eyes up, everyone on their feet right now down the back stretch. cheering Ellie Shea on in her hometown.
And she's about to complete this 4th K, have 1K to go. That is when things can start to get interesting. She can trust herself to say, I have something left in the tank. I feel comfortable pushing, and I know I have more in these legs.
5 laps to go. Ellie Shea, Emerging Elite Track Club. 3:12 for that 1,000 meters. So still staying right where she is. She's got a lot of work to do. But on pace, she's run 15:49. She did that when she won New Balance Nationals in 2022. And that's definitely a time that is on her mind.
This is just a master class in the 5K. It's ever so impressive that Ellie Shea is able to progress this as she passes yet another pack, coming up with 800 meters to go.
Ellie Shea gritting her teeth.
It
4
is
laps.
so hard, this last K of the race. Your whole body, you feel the lactic into your fingertips and your forearms, Declan. This is a challenging race.
Ellie Shea running 37-second 200s now. We've seen the gear change. She's just doing it all on her own. 600 meters left in this one for Ellie Shea.
The crowd is on their feet for Ellie Shea. She's going to win, but how fast is she going to do it?
We talked about that 15:49. It's going to take about a 3:08 last kilometer for her to run a personal best. And she's going for it, Dana. Absolutely going for it.
You know, to be at the high school level, consistently breaking 16 minutes in the 5K sets Ellie Shea up for the rest of her career.
2 laps to go. You're thinking bell lap because you know that you work in quarters as a 5K runner. So Ellie Shea, 2 to go.
What is left in these legs for Ellie Shea?
Gonna take about 74 seconds for a personal best, but Ellie Shea out there just smashing it right now.
You can't see her eyes, but you see a little bit of that grimace on Ellie Shea's face as she just has 250 meters to go.
1 lap left in this masterclass performance by the junior from Massachusetts, Ellie Shea. And now the crowd cheering around 15:11 with 200 to go.
The future is so bright for Ellie Shea.
Powering down the backstretch, 100 meters left in this one. In the championship girls 5,000 meter run. Winding it up, Ellie Shea. Sparks fly as she comes down and breaks the tape. 15:46. That's a personal best for Ellie Shea.
Wow, Ellie Shea doing it on her own. What a run. Her second national title this weekend. She won the 2-mile national championship, now the 5K. The sky's the limit for Ellie Shea. And our chase flag has 1 lap to go.
And a great note from our partner in the booth joining us shortly, Carrie Tollefson. Faster than NCAA's was run in the 5K and Albuquerque, so a little bit of altitude in play there.
That's not
still shows you how impressive of a run that is for a junior to come out and do that all on her own.
She's standing there in awe. Ellie Shea coming around this finish. And as we see second place come in,
Jelena Cuarzo finishes second. That Mary Bonner Dalton in third. 16:43, 16:45. That 17 flat mark that was set in that second section just put something out there from Riley Ferretti and made this whole heat have to go and chase it. the track. Back-to-back days. Individual titles in the 2-mile and 5K for Ellie Shea of Emerging Elites Track Club out of Massachusetts, winning in her home state.
All right, and we gotta ask you, glasses. What's up with that?
Well, they help me perform better because then I don't strip my eyes. And so if it helps me perform better, I'm gonna do
Kate Von Busker on the track, interviewing Ellie Shea.
She asked her about the sunglasses.
And it sounds like, she just wants to relax her face a little bit, helps her not
squint the
squint.
eyes.
Yeah, that's great feedback. I wonder if that's one she figured out on her own, or if it was a coach that said, Ellie, you're out there, you're tense, you're squinting. You got to relax, lighten up a little bit.
It's that elite athlete mindset, truly.
Yeah, changing whatever it takes to feel great, feel good, and go out there and put on a masterclass. 15:46, Ellie Shea of Emerging Elites Track Club. She is your New Balance Nationals champ.
I love it.